This is tough. There's a lot on the board.
When that first they said they're going to make a movie, I'm like, how are you possibly going to make a movie of this book?
Right.
It made no sense.
Rob, they made a movie out of tornadoes and sharks. They can make a movie out of anything.
It's a great pick, but I'm sort of mixed on that movie a little bit.
Why?
Mixed.
Why?
Because it's a really, I mean, there's been debates if it's truly a baseball movie.
It's a baseball movie. It's all about baseball. As articulated in the movie, he could hit somebody in the head with a baseball bat. Do you want me to go first to get things going? In other words, can I go first so you guys don't steal my character? All right, baseball isn't boring, and one of the things that is great about the great game of baseball is the conversation that this spawns from stupid discussions. And the discussion that I had with Coop, hello, Coop.
Hello.
Hello, Courtney.
Hello, Rob. Hello, Coop. Good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon, whenever you may be listening to this. So let's just get to the chase. I had said to Coop that I thought 8 Men Out was one of the great baseball movies. Coop had no idea what that was. He had no idea. Now, Coop, you're a young man.
I am.
And Courtney, you immediately, when I mentioned this, you said, well, give him a break. He's young. I do not give him a break. He should know this.
First of all, you said it was one of the best baseball movies.
It is.
I could come up with 3 right on the spot that are better than that.
Okay.
I would agree.
Exactly.
This is why we don't just rely on just casual conversation. We want to get to the heart of it, which is the science of it, which is obviously drafting baseball movies. So
are we going to do a full combine? If we're doing the science of it, we might as well do a combine with it.
Yes. All right.
Get the film.
Everyone knows Everyone knows that John Cusack and 8 Men Out ran a great 4.40. Had great pop time, whoever the catcher was. So, but what happened was that Coop, you took this to the Baseball Isn't Boring Twitter account and boom, unleashed the hounds. I mean, it was like a flood of people, right? I mean, Courtney, you got in on it.
Their movies.
Right?
Well, and I was very concerned because I thought we were leaving out, in my opinion, the best baseball movie to ever be made, really.
Well,
and that's
don't
Major
spoil
League.
it.
Oh,
okay.
Come on, Rob. No.
Way to give. I'm just gonna take that. If I get, we didn't do a draft order. I'll get that set up. But
okay.
I'm just gonna steal that from you now.
Are we? So okay. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to do a draft. The 3 of us. Coop, Courtney, myself. Now, rules of engagement. We're going to do 4 rounds. So that's 4 movies. Correct?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Right.
The top baseball movies of all time. And are we gonna? We should have organized this beforehand. Is the draft going to be a snake draft like the fantasy football league we're all in?
I think that's the most fair way to do it.
Okay.
Rob,
Courtney, do you agree?
Rob, let's not talk about fantasy football ever on this podcast ever again.
Oh, you had a good week. You had a great week. Don't say that about yourself.
Really cool, but you really want to start this right now, really?
What, you had the Colts defense, right? They're on your team. They got 20
They're
points.
on my bench.
Oh, they're
on
are?
my bench.
Oh,
they're on my bench.
That's a shame. I'm sure the person you were playing.
It's been a rough week for Courtney. Jose Abreu in fantasy football.
I'm very sensitive. The person I was playing, I thought I would beat because, at one point, the person I was playing was struggling as bad as I was. And sadly, that person has turned a corner, which is very disappointing.
5-game win streak.
Out of pocket.
Does that person's name rhyme with Schmonmischen Schmappel Schwan?
Nope.
No, it actually rhymes with poop.
Yeah.
Rhymes with poop.
All right. Well,
Terrible.
I can't think of who that might be. Coop, could you think of who rhymes with poop?
Definitely not Nick Punto.
Okay.
I don't know. Could be Ethan, our fan that's in on it.
Well, listen,
I'm not an English major, so I'm not great at this.
We're turning the page. We're turning the page, and this is going to be a great exercise. It's going to be, and I appreciate Coop you surfacing this on the Twitter account, the Baseballs and Boring Twitter account. I encourage everyone to go to that. BB isn't boring. Twitter, Instagram, the whole works. So I don't care what their order is, and we're going to snake this draft. Four movies, the best baseball movies. Before we start. We're trying to. We obviously have as all great podcasts do, have a Hollywood / West Coast correspondent, and that's Nate Cordry. So Nate Cordry, as he came on, who is awesome, talking about peeing in troughs at Fenway Park and all the good stuff that comes with watching a baseball game and growing up and being integrated into that world. But he also has been part of some of the greatest scenes. I said the movie The Heat. Oh my goodness, such a good scene. Courtney, did we ever ask you that? Have you seen the movie The Heat?
You've actually never asked me that, but I have seen it. Yes, I mean, unlike Coop, I know
Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock.
Yep. Great
dining room scene, right? Great. Are you or are you not a knock? So great. So that's Nate Cordry, West Coast correspondent, Hollywood correspondent for us. So I asked him, he couldn't make it for this podcast, but he did want to pass on his picks. All right. So don't let this sway your opinion of these movies or where you might slot them in with the draft. Here you go. For comedy, he had Bad News Bears. For drama, melodrama, Field of Dreams. For documentary, baseball with honorary mention. Documentary baseball with on it, which I guess is Ken Burns.
That'd be Ken Burns, right? Yeah.
Yeah. With honorary mention to Battered Bastards of Baseball.
Good one.
So those are the picks, all good picks. And I think that it sort of gets the blood flowing when it comes to this draft. Thank you, Nate, for chiming in with that. And I encourage everybody else to go to the Twitter account and do the exact same thing. You tell us where we went wrong. We'll post exactly how this draft shook out. But who gets the first pick, Coop?
So the wheel has decided. Rob, you get to go first.
Oh, I do. All right.
Followed up by Courtney and then me, and we'll recycle going through the snake.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
One of one.
One of one. It's the Christian McCaffrey sort of movie.
Don't draft Jonathan Taylor. Don't draft Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. All right. The first pick is I'm not going to steal a pick from you guys. I know this. This isn't about stealing picks from you guys. This is about what my heart feels like is the best movie. Look at you, Coop. You're already rolling your eyes. It is undoubtedly the original Bad News Bears. Go watch that.
We've talked about this. I don't disagree.
Yeah, bad one. Not a bad pick. That's not. I thought you were going to go somewhere else.
No. The original Bad News Bears. That movie is so politically incorrect. It's crazy. I get that.
Yeah.
That's why you like it.
But it's also
that's why you gravitate towards it, Rob. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that on a quote card.
Maybe that's probably not the first thing I should have brought up when identifying my first pick. But it is what when we talk about the heart and soul of baseball, it is Little League baseball. And there's nothing that epitomizes Little League baseball better than the original Bad News Bears, minus the drinking. So there you go. Who's got number two?
Courtney, you're up at number two.
All right, here we go. I exposed this on Twitter last night, but for me, it's Major League across the board. That movie, honestly, you got kind of a realistic look into sort of how the mind of a baseball player works. I mean, it is very raunchy, which I low-key appreciate as well, Rob. So we got that in common. It's funny. You got Bobby Uecker. You got Bobby Uecker. Come on, who's classic in that. And even the second one is not bad. And that also was like the White Sox were like badass villains in the second one. So I enjoy that. But to me, for comedy, for just being a classic, Major League across the board. Charlie Sheen.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen that either.
That is
listen. All right, when you grow up and Charlie Sheen is not maybe the healthiest individual to look up to, your parents probably aren't going to go out of their way to show you the movie. That was
But
probably not the best time to consume Charlie Sheen content.
Sometimes you gotta ignore the artist. What's the quote? Ignore the artist, appreciate the arts. Do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
good one. Good one.
That's
Excellent job.
Put that on a shirt.
I'll get around to it eventually.
Coop, this needs to be an assignment. You need to watch that movie by Christmas.
Listen, it's the off season. I've got plenty of time. I promise I will get around to it.
By the way, my takeaway was that Courtney has officially, in this last few months that have been coming on the podcast, we've put that in your head. Put that on the shirt. The put that on the shirt could be put on a shirt.
Marketing genius.
I've actually used this personal friend groups too, so I'm sure they love that.
There you go. All right, good one, Courtney. What do you got, Coop?
This is tough. There's a lot on the board.
Wow.
And there's a lot of baseball movies that I love equally. And this doesn't mean that it's my favorite, but I want to take it before it comes off the board. 42. Shout out Chadwick Boseman.
Okay.
That's nice.
Oh, okay. That's a great movie. The man had cancer when he was like shooting it. It's just beautiful.
I don't know.
Okay.
What? So, yeah, it's a good movie. Is it a first round pick?
It's not a good movie. It's a great movie.
Good movie? No, it isn't. I think you could have gotten that in the third round, Coop.
Oh,
I would agree. It's not a first round.
That's more telling on you guys then.
Well, okay.
I just wanted to clear the board.
Well, Coop, you can listen. If the joyous part of your selection is that you get a chance to double up on it. Even if we don't like that pick, you get the next one. What do you got?
No, I'm gonna save that one for later.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. No, because I think it'll still be around. So that's a little tease for people to keep listening. Let's go with. I gotta go Moneyball. That's like my generation's like big like movie.
Okay.
As far as like baseball and analytics and stuff. So I gotta take that. I know a lot. Obviously, it's they embellish a lot in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
The A's weren't as down and out as far as the team. They weren't as down and out as Brad Pitt likes to portray them to be. I mean, like they had an MVP. They had a couple like MVP guys on that team. So still a great movie. Still feel good.
I don't like the way Art Howe was portrayed in that movie at all.
Okay.
Neither did he, by the way. Neither did he.
I know. He was right about that. That I would be pissed too. I mean, that was very not good.
So and Courtney, you weigh in on this. When did you read Moneyball when it came out?
I never read it, but I've certainly seen the movie a lot.
All right. Well, I listened to it on audiobook. So which is the equivalent of reading. So
it is.
When that first they said they're gonna make a movie, I'm like, how are you possibly gonna make a movie of this book?
Right.
It made no sense.
Rob, they made a movie out of tornadoes and sharks. They can make a movie out of anything.
Well,
true. True.
I mean, I cannot really argue with that. Excellent point.
Yeah.
But I will say this: it's like they did a good job of making a movie out of whatever that was. And obviously there's problems with it. You don't fly to Cleveland to make a trade. Get me on the plane so I can go trade for who is it, Ricardo Rincon or something?
Yeah.
How else is he gonna meet Jonah Hill? He's gotta meet Jonah Hill somehow. That was top notch Jonah Hill too. That was him like finally doing him doing a serious role.
I liked him in Superbad better.
He was good in that. All-time classic. All-time classic.
Superbad, which is by the way, the fourth pick in the draft for the best baseball movie. Anyway, go ahead. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Courtney. What do you got?
All right. I'm going to give a shout out to my ladies, A League of Their Own.
Oh, you stole mine.
Good one.
Yep. League of Their Own. Honestly, that movie, every single time it's on, I come across it. It'll stop me in my tracks every single time. You know, I love that it's about, the women's league, which is such an underutilized, underrated thing to talk about. Great
Shout out to
cast.
Peaches.
Yes, Rockford
Big shout
Peaches,
out to the Peaches.
my state, state of Illinois. Come on. But yeah, that is a classic that never gets old to me. Comedy, dramedy, it's a little bit of everything. I love it.
It's such a good movie.
Phenomenal.
Can't go wrong with Hanks.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Great stream on him in that movie too. Great stream.
People
forget.
Listen, Jimmy Dugan had no prostate issues. That's the takeaway. But it was great. Great movie, Courtney. Great. Excellent pick.
Yeah,
you stole my pick. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's what I do.
Okay,
that's the beauty of the draft.
Yeah, it is the beauty of the draft. And at the end, what I want to do too is, I should have mentioned this before, I want you guys to think of the best character in a baseball movie. Put that in your head. Okay? All right. We're going 4 rounds, right? Did we say 4 rounds?
4 rounds.
Mount Rushmore.
Rushmore.
All right. This is a steal. This one's a steal. Field of Dreams.
That's off the board for me. That's tough. Oh,
you wanted that one?
No, that's a great pick.
It's a great pick, but I'm sort of mixed on that movie a little bit.
Why?
Because it's a really, there's been debates if it's truly a baseball movie.
It's a baseball movie. It's all about baseball.
It's literally about your team.
What do you think? It's about corn?
It's about my team, but it's I don't know. It's in the
Is
top
it just like
5.
a part of history that you're trying to erase from MLB? Is that what White Sox fans are so upset about, that hey, we keep on harping that you guys really messed up?
I think that's what it is. Maybe it's just a sensitive subject to me. Maybe that's what it is, Coop. I don't know. To me, it's top 5. I would not put it number 3, in my humble opinion.
Well,
I don't know if I would put it in my top 3, but I think it is. I think it's a top 5.
Courtney, I didn't understand when you said it's not a baseball movie. That's literally all it is.
It is. I've always been very.
Do you think it was a movie about taking a trip in a Volkswagen van?
Hey guys, I like Harry Potter, but it's not about wizards.
It's not about wizardry.
Either way, I'm sticking with my guns. It's not top 3. It's probably top 3.
Okay. All right. I get the next pick. Is that right?
Great movie about traveling the countryside.
I'm all about Coop. I'm all about that, Coop.
It's about yes. Anyway. So I get the next pick?
Yep.
The Natural.
Okay.
I agree.
Robert Redford, great pick.
Yeah.
Great actor.
Not the problem I have, and I would always take The Natural over Major League. Major League is just, I know it's a comedy. It's a little too campy for me. It's a little too.
I get it.
The Natural is, yeah, sure. You probably aren't gonna hit out a bed of lights with a baseball, or literally rip the cover off a bit. I get that, but still, it's not far off from reality. Where Tom Berenger bunting a guy home from second, that's far off from reality for me. Sorry.
And think about when that movie was made too, though. It was supposed to be kind of campy too, right? It was sort of
Major League.
Yeah, of course. It was supposed to be campy.
Yeah, no, I know what they're going for, and I know what people like it, and you're playing it to an audience. But yeah. So, but I'm very secure in both my last 2 picks, Field of Dreams and The Natural. The historians will look at this draft and say, how did you ever get those 2 picks in the 2nd and 3rd round? That's insane. When we put that up, our picks, I've already locked this thing up. I'm 3 out of 4 in. I've already locked it up. I guarantee you.
I will argue that Field of Dreams is not top 3. Top 5, I can see, not top 3. It doesn't do it for me. It really doesn't for some reason. Never really. Sorry to Kevin Costner, who my mother loves. I apologize.
Ooh, Coop, do you take offense to that? Somebody thought you were Kevin Costner on Twitter the other day.
Really?
I just, if I ever meet Cal Ripken, I hope he doesn't think I look like him. There's a little, for people that know that story, they know that.
Oh yeah, yes,
Yeah.
But you're big. Don't be modest. Somebody confused you for Kevin Costner on Twitter.
Handsome individual. He's got the leather jacket just like me.
He's very handsome.
I'll take that. If someone says I look like a movie star, I will take that.
Okay, there you go. You're gonna have to take it because you're not winning this draft.
Right.
Anyway, who's Courtney? You're up next.
So I get this is my third pick. Is this my third pick? I've lost
Third
pick on the board.
Third pick. All right. I'm going Sandlot.
Okay, good one.
Oh, you stole Coop. Look at Coop's face.
Yeah, that was
Coop.
I'll be completely honest. It's not my favorite baseball movie, but like it's a crowd favorite. And if we're trying to have the best, draft here, and like I'm gonna put this up on Twitter after and have the people vote on who did the best. Courtney might win just because of that pick. Like that's a sleeper that wins the whole thing for you.
You know what the good thing about a baseball movie is? It has to have comedy, it has to have drama, it has to tug at your heartstrings. And I feel like Sandlot does that, right? I mean,
dogs.
I feel like
it has dogs in it.
Which we love dogs. I mean, who doesn't love
dogs? 4th of July.
That young Dennis Leary who looks very good in that movie. Thank you very much. I mean, I
feel like that the Sandlot is more of a dog movie than a baseball movie.
Yeah. Now, are you afraid you're going to lose the San Francisco pick with this just because they're all Dodgers fans? I mean, I might consider this a Dodger movie, and maybe not.
Maybe.
I mean, you just lost all the Bay Area.
I lost the entire Bay Area. Too.
Courtney, if nothing else, you made us look at movies in a different way, baseball movies in a different way. Let's sift through the actual baseball to the other things in the movie. So
as long as I can bring something new to the podcast every time I'm on, that's all I ask for.
There you go. There you go.
I ask. So
by the way, I think that the baseball movies are sort of, we're talking about this tier of movies that we've drafted already. It kind of thins out, don't you think? I guess
if you have a weak imagination.
I guess we're about to find out. Coop.
I mean, Blonde came out this year, and Joe DiMaggio was in it. That could be a baseball movie.
See, I'm making you guys think outside the box. This is good. This is very good.
It is excellent. Coop, what do you got? Next pick.
It's tough because Sandlot that was going to be my third pick.
Sorry, Coop.
Benchwarmers. We're going to keep it warm and lighthearted.
Benchwarmers.
What do you mean?
Coop,
your age.
Coop, that is legitimately an awful movie.
It's awful.
It's great. You can't not laugh at that. It's like Happy Gilmore. Like it's very dumb humor, but you can't not laugh at it.
I mean,
you're gonna get roasted for saying that's a bad movie. I'm sorry, Rob, but like the Twitter community is gonna come after you for that.
It's.
I mean, as far
I
as
don't even know what to say.
Bench warmers. People want to tell me
good.
You guys can kill me for my Field of Dreams comment. That's bench warmers. Just
Courtney, I'm right there with you, Courtney. This may have been, you're making a mockery of this exercise.
A mockery. At least I didn't call a baseball movie not a baseball movie.
Wow, I deserve that. I knew the point I was trying to make, but it's just too advanced for your brain to comprehend.
It is. But I don't. Apparently, there's no discussion on this. I wasted a third pick. Maybe I'll go with like Inglourious Basterds because they have a little bit of movie.
The floor is yours. You tell us why Benchwarmers is a good movie. What do you like?
You laugh, you cry. It's an underdog story. It literally has that in the title. We talk about PED use and cheating in baseball. There's stories to be learned. I mean, come on. It's nostalgia. It takes you back to your little league days, beating up on the bully. Every ounce, every motif of any movie that you've ever watched, it's all wrapped up in Benchwarmers. That's what you're missing out on.
I mean, you kind of sold me a little bit.
There we go.
Sold me a little bit. Not enough.
I'm now.
That's
I
the
may need to
political science degree at work right there.
All right, Coop. You got the next one.
All right, fourth pick. I hinted at it. Inglourious Bastards. They have a little bit of baseball in that.
Okay.
Oh.
Should I?
Great scene. I don't
Wow.
know. Is that allowed? Am I allowed to take that?
You're allowed to take
applaud
it.
you. Courtney, Coop might have saved his draft with that pick.
I think he did. I mean, it killed all of us. So
I
that's
told you
perfect.
no one was going to. I said that in the second round. I was like, no one's going to take this, so I'm going to save it for the end. And you know what? And I said, I'm going to tease it. So if people waited and they listened to this whole thing, they were just rewarded with maybe their watch of the night. Maybe they'll go and they'll be like, I'm missing baseball.
Courtney, you know what that was that was the equivalent of? That pick was the ultimate Hail Mary. Like I botched the first three picks.
Botched.
I am gonna go so far outside the box, people are gonna be like, wow, he must look at things through a different prism than I do. He's a genius. He's like Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind. He's looking at the window in a way that I can't possibly see it.
It's true. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
I'm not sure I love the Russell Crowe Beautiful Mind comparison because that just means I'm schizophrenic, but sure.
Well,
super smart. Super smart. All right, Courtney. All right, number 4.
This is a sleeper pick that doesn't get nearly enough credit. For Love of the Game.
Oh, yeah.
For Love of the Game.
Yeah.
Another for the Kevin Costner fans out there.
Yeah.
He's in that as well.
I gotta be honest with you, Courtney. For the Kelly Preston fans,
R.I.P. Yes, don't blame you. Yes. Honestly, very underrated film, in my humble opinion.
So I don't think it's a great movie, but if you want to talk about lines that I have stolen and said ad nauseum at stupid times, it is from that movie, which is Clear Mechanism. Clear Mechanism. Remember?
Clear the Mechanism.
I've heard you drop that like a lot, especially with like pitchers.
Yeah.
Exactly. Clear the Mechanism.
Well, yeah. So Ryan Brazier pitches for the Red Sox. When he first came to the Red Sox, he has this thing with his head, it's tilted, and it's just like how his head is. But I unfortunately said to him, "Are you like? Is this like a Clear Mechanism type of thing?" So he was a good sport guy about it. Yeah,
good sport. Good sport.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna. That's not a bad pick. I wouldn't have taken it, but it's not a bad pick.
It doesn't get credit for being, it's a decent movie.
It is.
I've
always enjoyed it.
It's a little. Here's my only problem with it. It's a little slow, Courtney. Little slow.
You know it isn't slow?
Because it's a love story. It's a love story, Rob. Love story. Benchwarmers is not a love story, but this
Benchwarmers is a love story.
Oh.
There is romance in that.
Speaking of, okay, so for the final pick, speaking of a love story, I could make this pick because I've already secured the draft. I've already won it. And as a goof, I could say basketball, right?
Oh my God. Who probably loves it?
Yeah. Which is better, basketball or Benchwarmers?
I haven't seen it. So therefore Benchwarmers is better. I understand. I know the premise of it. It's them just like it's like a half-baked idea type movie.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm out on it though.
Courtney, you want to talk about putting something on t-shirts? Let's do a Coop t-shirt. I haven't seen it.
I only watch the classics. If it's not on the AMC Top 100, I'm not watching it.
All right. Well, I am going to secure the.
My question for my Boston. Where do you rank Fever Pitch from my Boston people?
Yes.
Terrible.
I watch it like at the start of every season. That is, it's 4 days in October and it's Fever Pitch are the two films that like I watch to kick off my baseball season. I don't care. Honestly, it broke my heart when I found out Jimmy Fallon was actually a Yankee fan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, huge fraud. Huge fraud. I would love to it's like John Cusack is actually like a Cubs fan.
A Cubs fan. Oh, don't get me going. Don't get me going on that. He shows up at our playoff
Okay.
games, but he's a Cub fan. Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
So I did not like Fever Pitch, in part because if it's a Farrelly Brother movie, I want it to be a Farrelly Brothers movie, it's not sort of Farrelly Brothers movie. Although I did not give me the opportunity to meet Drew Barrymore on the field. So, and she was very nice.
Oh,
so
good.
There you
I'm
go.
glad to hear
Yeah.
Glad to hear that.
No, that's my memory. Anyway, I'm not taking basketball. I am securing the win with a punctuation. The Rookie.
Okay.
Yeah. With Dennis Quaid.
Okay. Yeah. It's again tugs at the heartstrings, the whole thing.
It's a little Disney-fied, but it's okay.
Yeah. It's very Disney-fied.
True story. Yeah. And that feeling, which is another thing that I always reference ad nauseum, which is that first time that a guy goes into a major league clubhouse or comes out of a bullpen for the first time. That's the only movie that we really have to go by to say, okay, what's that like? Well, it's like in The Rookie, right?
It's like in Benchwarmers.
Yeah.
It's like go look up a movie called The Scout. The Scout with what's his name from The Mummy?
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
The Whale.
Yeah.
Whale. Great baseball movie.
Great baseball movie. I mean, good. The you didn't even. How about what's the other? Oh man, the Chicago Kevin Costner the Mom movie.
The Chicago 6 or no, the Chicago 7.
No, Kevin Costner, Robert De Niro.
The Heat.
No.
I'm trying to.
De Niro?
The Untouchables.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one. That's a good one.
Great baseball movie.
Great baseball movie. Al Capone could really sock it.
I mean,
De
Niro.
Al Capone was a big Sox fan in real life. That is a true story.
Really?
That's what he was most famous for.
It's correct. He's actually one of our most famous fans, besides myself.
Really good at math.
Evidently, also as articulated in the movie, he can hit somebody in the head with a baseball bat.
That he can.
Yeah.
That he could.
Yeah. So, all right. So I asked you all to give me your favorite character in a movie, and hopefully we don't steal each other's character. Do you want me to go first to get things going? In other words, can I go first so you guys don't steal my character?
You just want to go first so we don't steal any of your characters, but go on, Rob. We'll give you that.
Okay. I want to do Ham from Sandlot. Right?
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What? Patrick Renna? Is that his name? Patrick Renna. Excellent job by him. I also have met him.
I was going to say he should be a get for the podcast. He would have fun on this.
This is one of the reasons we will tag Patrick Renna, and we will absolutely get him on the Baseballs and Boring podcast. Great guy. And also, you talk about a movie character who's referenced all the time, because I think that's what you have to sort of cite, right? When you're talking about this, what movie character are we citing all the time? This kid, the kid from The Sandlot. That kid.
Yeah.
When you say the kid from The Sandlot, that's the kid you're talking about. There's my choice.
Okay. Slam dunk, Rob. Slam dunk.
So in other words, when we put up this poll, when Coop puts up the poll, if there's a tie, this is what's going to break the tie. Okay?
That puts a lot of pressure on.
All right, Courtney, you can go ahead. You got one?
I do have one. I really want to give it to Bob Uecker in Major League, but I won't. But because he was so hysterically funny in those two movies. But I'm going to go my buddy Jimmy Dugan, Tom Hanks. I'm going with him.
Good one. Great one.
And he went with that entire movie. He went from such a wide range of being the stumble down drunk to so heartfelt and caring. I mean, it was such a great arch. He had a great character arch in that movie. So he's the one. He's the one.
Yes.
Can never go wrong with Tom Hanks.
It's the second time in this podcast we've talked about Tom Hanks's arch in two entirely different ways.
Different ways. So as you can see, I'm a fan of Tom Hanks's arch. So
that's a great pick. Good job.
Thank you, Rob.
Coop,
Thank you.
And you stole Coop's pick too. I like it.
Oh, perfect.
I got a better one.
Perfect.
Who is it?
I'm sure you do.
Who is it? Which character from the Benchwarmers? What?
Nick Swardson plays Howie.
My God.
Great character arch. He starts off, he's very he has this huge barrier in his life that he can't get around. He just wants to play baseball, but he has this huge obstacle. And he overcomes it at the very end, and he's able to, really appreciate this game that, the three of us all really love. So that we can all relate, we can all empathize with the great character Howie. So shout out Nick Swardson.
Okay.
It's easy to make people cry in acting. It's hard to make people laugh.
Is that the one that was in Blades of Glory? Is that the guy who was in Blades of Glory?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is there? You don't have to shake your head. No.
Tough one.
I think I
Coop
gave the best pitch.
Parts.
I mean, I will say this, Courtney. Coop has sold his controversial picks. He sells it.
He actually has. I will give him credit. I mean, I want to go home. I am home. I want to literally go off this podcast and pop on Benchwarmers as we speak.
Your life will be better for it.
I'm thinking it needs to, as long as you watch Major League. I will watch Benchwarmers. You watch Major League before Christmas.
Sure. All right, deal. Yeah, we can do that.
Isn't this great? We're bringing people together. The last thing is the worst catcher in a movie, like a baseball catcher. So I find this fascinating. I have a great one, because I think some of the worst acting has come with actors trying to play catchers in movies. Courtney, you raised your hand. What do you got?
So, for love of the game, why am I blanking on his name? He's in Winning
John
Time.
C. Reilly.
So good. Yes,
John C. Reilly.
He was so miscast in that movie, and he looks so unathletic. And I love the guy. I love the guy. But Chicago and Southsider, I love the guy. He was so miscast in that. Terrible.
Step Brothers, also a baseball movie. They swing a bat in that.
I'm making you think, Coop. I'm making you look at movies differently.
So he redeems himself in Step Brothers. He didn't have as great of a role in Love of the Game, but
great movie.
Terrible.
Step Brothers, so good. But Courtney, you know what? That is my number two. That would absolutely be my number two. My number one, I'm gonna, and Coop is gonna say, I mean, there's zero chance that Coop has seen this movie. Coop, you're gonna have to see this one again. Courtney, I'm going to say who the star of it, and you tell me if you know what I'm talking about. Richard Pryor. Okay. Richard Pryor.
Oh man, I do know what you're talking about, but I'm drawing a blank.
Brewster's Millions. Brewster's Millions. Yeah.
Yes.
John Candy was the catcher.
That's right. That's right. And we love John Candy. I know.
We love John. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah. Good man. But yes, I agree.
Holy mackerel. I mean, yeah, especially with those polyester uniforms they were wearing back then. Not good.
Terrible. It's terrible. Yes, I would agree. Yep. John C. Reilly, John Candy, not good catchers.
All right, cool. You got one?
I can't pull his name up, but it's the catcher in Benchwarmers that says, "And you're still out." Could have done a little bit better with the delivery of that line. But other than that, he did his best. He's a child actor.
He did. Good effort. Good effort. I feel like the only thing I'm surprised is that you didn't draft Benchwarmers with your first pick.
No, that would be dumb.
Yes.
All right. Well, listen, I think we solved a lot of problems. We brought people together. We made people aware of things maybe that they weren't aware of before. And isn't that what baseball's all about?
It is.
So I feel that
last time just for that reason.
we get a lot done today. So thank you all. And now we take it to the public. You can go to @BB isn't boring to please weigh in. And yes, in who is playing for second place? That is what we're wondering. So who is playing for second place?
Because I win.
Okay,
Coop obviously won.
All right, bye-bye.